Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Good evening, everyone. Gonna start welcoming y'all in. Welcome in, Hippieista. Welcome in, Lady Nighthawk. Good to see you tonight. Welcome in, Nutty. Good to see you. My apologies to everybody who I missed last week because I had to delay it by a night. Welcome in, Fiona's mom. Always a pleasure. Sabin Nation. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a wonderful, peaceful day. Let's see who else we got coming in here. Elizu, good to see you. What up, Gutter Sleuts? Nirvana, welcome in. 1 second, folks. Rosebud, welcome in. Detective Cochise, hello, hello. Tucker and Friends, hi, good to see you. Fallen Angel, good to see you. Jamie Carpenter, great to see you. And Jamie Carpenter, congratulations on your continuing your weight loss. I know you've been working really hard on that, and you've lost over 50 pounds, so pat yourself on the back. That's awesome. Everybody else, if you're working on your health in any way, whether it's to put on some healthy weight or whether it's to lose some body fat, whatever it is, if you're working on that, respect. I'm happy to hear that. I myself lost some stubborn weight. I probably put back about 2 pounds of it already because now I've stopped being on my diet so hard. But welcome in, Gia. Hello, darlings. Let's see who else we got coming in here. My apologies if I missed anybody. Sorry, Elizu. Sorry, I'm running late. Angel of Glass, welcome in. Good to see you. Wooly, good to see you too. Hello, hello. Yeah, welcome in, everybody. Congratulations to everybody. First off, let me give you folks a little update on me as we're welcoming everybody in. We're still getting started. Some good news about Mom. She is doing so well. She's been following my advice, my diet advice, because she's kind of a picky eater. She doesn't really want to eat a lot of the food they serve there. And to be fair, the cafeteria there it's not bad, but it's nothing special. It's pretty average. And her being such a picky eater, I could see where, it's difficult for her to get enough protein. They only serve so much protein anyway. They don't really serve a high protein diet. They serve if you eat all the protein they serve throughout and you don't ask for seconds or anything, they give you just enough to maintain your muscle mass. So I got her some extra protein drinks. She's been drinking those. And she has gotten so much stronger so quickly. In just like 3 weeks, she's gone from basically needing to be carried, completely bedbound, to now she's getting up into the wheelchair on her own. She's using, she's doing things on her own now. She's taking care of herself now obviously she's still being helped a lot by the nurses and the aides and all that, but now she's getting back her independence. So she's really doing great. So yeah, it just goes to show that when you got the diet working along with the exercise, because she's doing the physical therapy 3 times a week, and now she's getting the protein drinks, so she's really doing well. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick little update. Okay, so we got most of you folks welcomed in here. We had a chance to get started up. Give me a second. Let me clear my throat here. It really is. It really is. Just barely 3 weeks. She's a 75-year-old woman. She has such a good natural biology for putting on weight. That's one of those things where a lot of people don't live into their old age if they put on weight easily because they tend to get too heavy. But if you can keep your weight down when you get older, it's actually an advantage to be able to keep on weight, because most of the people in the facility that she's with, they can't keep any weight on at all. They're just wasting away. Whereas she has the opposite problem, and she's got it, she like skips her lunch some days because she's trying to keep, from getting fat. She just wants to put the muscle on and get healthier, because she was she was bedbound for so many weeks where she had gained body fat and lost muscle just because she wasn't able to move or do anything. Okay, so enough about me. So what about you folks? Anybody got any interesting news? Anything about Girl World you wanted to talk about? I wanted to just kind of catch up a little bit on foodie. I heard Salah's been talking to some other women. And I also had some stuff about health and diet and exercise that I thought was interesting. So we got a little bit of drama content. We got a little bit of some fitness, health content. I think we got a little bit of everything, hopefully. Welcome in, Kid DJ. Always a pleasure to see you. Happy Hub Day to you too, Kid DJ. Kid DJ's got an awesome channel. I'm sure you folks all know about it already, but definitely check her out. She's awesome. Her channel's awesome. All right, so let's start off with some foodie, because I didn't cover any foodie last week. Oh, and I also got a story. I know it's an old story now. It's a week old, but it's about a fat rapper who got kicked out of a Lyft. I want to get your opinion on that. I'm sure all you've already had a chance to talk about that, but I want to talk about it too. Was it a publicity stunt? Who's to say? Okay, so let's see here. We got Foodie just put out a brand new mukbang 6 hours ago. Let's give it a look. Let's see what's going on here with it.
Hello, Foodie Beauty.
1 second here.
Hi there, guys.
Let me get
Valentine's Day is fast approaching, and nothing is more romantic than a personalized video from me to you or to a loved one that you can keep forever and ever. Well, until the technology is outdated. But anyway, request a cameo now and don't delay and make his or her Valentine's Day special in a different...
How's the volume balance, by the way? How am I compared to Foodie? Is she too quiet, too loud? Is it good?
kind of way?
Okay, well, the music's probably really loud because Foodie always mixes it loudly. Let's talk a little bit about the food that we're looking at here. Arab Food's Best Jordanian Mansaf Mukbang. I wonder if Foodie will tell us what Mansaf is. It looks like some kind of... can't really tell from here, but it looks like maybe chicken? Or maybe some kind of beef? Looks like chicken noodle soup here or something. Looks like we got some kind of... thin labna or hummus or some kind of tabbouleh. What do they call that? That creamy tabbouleh, not tabbouleh. I forget what they call it. But anyway, giant plate of rice, 1,000 calories, easy. Foodie's gonna eat. Let's see what she does. Let's see what she polishes off.
Bonjour, mes amis. Bonjour, marhaba, ahlan wa sahlan.
And is Foodie looking bigger? Because I think she's getting a little bit bigger. I mean, it's gradual. It's only been, we see her pretty often, so we don't really get a lot of time in between. But I feel that she's getting even bigger. Like, look at her face. Like, the filters are really, like, she doesn't even have a human profile anymore. Her face is completely round, and that's with the filters working overtime. Look at how it's, like, cutting into her face. Like, you can see the side where it's redrawn. Like, on the right side of her face, on our left, you can really see it.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. Today I have a special treat for you guys here in the Arab world. Anyways, today we are having mansaf. All right. So let me just unpack this mansaf and we'll get right into it. All right, here we go. Bismillah. Here is the mansaf. So this is a Saj bread that is.
If your Valentine's Day is not depressing enough, and you're alone and you have absolutely nobody and you want to feel better, get a cameo from Foodie and be like, at least I'm not her, right?
Covering the meat. We have meat mansaf. Now, you don't usually see me eat meat often on my channel. And yeah, I don't usually.
We don't see her eat meat often on her channel. What? Huh? Like, by what standard is that? Don't see her eat meat often. Like, does she mean compared to just like junk food and carbs? Okay, sure. But does she mean like in general? Because compared to the average person, she eats a lot of meat. I mean, she's got more meat on her channel than an OnlyFans. She's got more meat on her YouTube channel than she does on her OnlyFans. Oh.
Meat very often. So this is a very fatty. Looks like a very fatty meat. Wow. So yeah, so this is Jordanian. This is.
She's like, oh wow, it's a very fatty meat. She really likes that. Like she's trying to describe it in a way to make it sound tasty. She's just making it sound nasty.
Considered Jordan's national dish, Jordanian mansaf. It's basically meat. This is mutton cooked in.
She's got the meats.
Fermented yogurt.
More than HFC does.
And it's
cooked in fermented yogurt broth. I gotta say now, Foodie, that's one of those things. It's probably better to not tell us at all, because that just makes it sound so disgusting and nasty. Even if it tastes delicious, it might taste delicious. But I'm just gonna say that my gut response when I hear cooked and fermented yogurt broth is to get disgusted, not to get hungry. So even if it is really good, that's the kind of thing. It's better off just to not even tell us. It's like haggis. It tastes really good if you don't know what's in it.
Broth, and then they have used the same mutton broth to make this jamid and mutton broth, which jamid, it means hardened in Arabic, and it's basically just
Oh, it doesn't
dry,
eat mutton often, she
fermented
said. My
yogurt
bad.
that you buy in like a ball, and then you turn it into a sauce.
Woohoo!
So it's very, very good. What do you want? You want some expensive? So yeah, and you eat that with some basmati rice here, cooked Arabic style, some greens, some mabu chopped peppers, and I got some lentil soup as well, which has yellow adis, which is Arabic.
Yeah, lentil soup as well. It's hard to see how much is here total, but this looks very fatty. This meat here. I'm gonna guess that. I mean, it depends how much of it she eats. We're probably gonna skip through part of it, but
and some noodles. So that's our meal, folks.
That's our meal, folks.
Bismillah, beauty bites. We're gonna have some lentil soup first. Such a comfort food, lentil soup. It's so like.
Why didn't she get the bread bowl?
Blend it till it's like velvety smooth.
She always gets the bread bowl with the lentil. Why didn't she get it today? She's trying to cut down the calories,
using,
or nah?
Yellow lentils. You can use red lentils as well. I usually use red. And it looks like this variation has some noodles in it.
Looks like this variation has some noodles in it. She's trying to be so sophisticated. All right, I'm not just gonna watch her eat. Let's skip ahead a little bit. I'm not interested in her feeder bait.
At the back.
Foodie is just tearing. She ate the whole thing of soup. Still going.
Which I believe is Yemeni.
Drinking it down. She's still ignorant too. Not, and then again, you know, I put down Foodie sometimes, but whatever. You know where I'm coming from. Jeez Louise. She's gotten so darn big.
I think their main dish is also.
She didn't really eat that much of the meat yet. I think the people who said that she doesn't really like this, she might be right, because she hasn't really touched a lot of the meat yet. Yeah, you know something? She probably didn't really like it, because she left most of the meat. Do you think for once Salah actually got the meal that he wanted? Do you think that's what happened? They actually ordered something Salah wanted, and Foodie just got the, you know, had to, like, said she would try it and didn't, you know, just ate the. Who knows?
So there will be.
But I got a better Foodie video we're gonna watch from an edit from Kelly. Let me pull that up.
Anyways, guys. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this dish, Jordan's main dish, national dish.
I just wanted to cover this because this was Foodie's newest video. Just wanted to see what it was.
And let me know what else you would like me to try here. So yeah, thank you guys. Take care.
All right, so I got a video here from Kelly. One second, let me put on the bumper. Oh crap, I hit the wrong button. 1 second.
Oh my gosh. Hi guys.
There we go.
This is so messy. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I got this from Kelly's channel. Let me post the link. Kelly is an awesome channel. And my apologies if I missed anybody coming in. Whoops, I put the wrong link in.
Oh my gosh. Hi guys. This is so messy. Oh my gosh. It's so cheesy. The wrapper.
I'm not sure why it's showing the wrong link, but whatever. Okay, well, we'll get it fixed later.
It sticks to the cheese. Okay, I got one of my favorite meals, BK, and some curly fries. And Bismillah beauty bite. Put some ketchup and mayo. Here, ketchup. Mayo. have some fry.
So here she's doing a mukbang with ketchup and mayo, fries, this big fried thing of burgers. And apparently she caught Salah talking to him
This is
again.
the BK Royal.
This is so disgusting what she's eating here.
It's a double chicken royal kind of.
I mean, it's just got so much cheese melting off, and it's just so much grease. And when you're that size, there's nothing fun about it.
It has pickles,
Takes all the fun out.
onions.
It's like watching a drug addict.
Cheese.
Why not?
Oh, it's so good.
As long as your parents are cool. I agree, Nirvana. I watch Foodie, and I've successfully lost a bunch of weight, maintained the weight loss. I know a lot of my viewers have done a good job keeping their weight off watching Foodie. I think Foodie really helps people to lose weight and keep it off. I mean, watch this woman eat. There's no way that you can feel hungry afterward. Indeed. Yeah, it's just Foodie,
Small
no
therapy
beauty.
Update. I have an appointment on Friday.
It's a saucy girl.
I love how available this therapist is. They are very prompt in replying.
Oh, speaking of interesting, by the way, if you folks, I don't know if you've all heard, but somebody tangentially related to Girl World, Music Biz Marty, has recently passed. I was never like a huge fan of Marty, but I never had any like huge issues with the guy either. So, I mean, rest in peace to him. His real name was Nicholas Beegler. Rest in peace, Nicholas. You know, it's unfortunate to hear that he passed so young. And it sounds like it was from an overdose of drugs, an unintentional overdose. And you got to, you know, when you play that game with those kind of dangerous drugs, there's a real chance you might not survive. And it's something that I hope people realize how serious it is from this.
Good availability.
And rest in peace to him.
The worst nightmare.
Welcome in, Rudy. Yeah, I saw your message today. Let's count, man. You can always count on Rudy. 7:02 p.m. for you.
Noise or brown noise. I know what you're thinking. Haha, brown noise.
The brown noise. That's what Salah plays. That's Crazy Frog. That's the brown noise. Dun, 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 plays the brown note.
It helps so much.
Scatman Salah. Look at how she takes those bites. Jesus. Like, have you ever seen a horse eat an apple? It's like Foodie's digging into that sandwich the same way.
I actually haven't had BK. I'll put the last time I had BK.
I actually don't have one. Fiona's mom. I mean, I did have one, but I was kind of like halfway locked out of it, and I never bothered to. I just don't really ever use it, so I never bothered to get it fixed, get it readjusted to my name. I have a Cash App. I know you don't care for Cash App, but I do have a Cash App. If anybody wants to send a donation, I'll put up the link for that. But I don't have the PayPal set up. I know I really should get that set up.
It was a long time ago.
But yeah, that's where my PayPal is. I don't have it. It's not properly set up. I should really just make a new one.
And my husband is so cute. Like, I woke up. I could feel, I swear, while I was
Yep,
sleeping.
that's why you won't find it. I don't have one under Docta Fill.
I woke up and he's like...
I actually do have memberships, but I didn't really set anything up for them. But if you can buy one technically,
Yeah,
but I
so
didn't really
we'll
set
still,
them
like,
up fully.
job, like...
This channel, and I've said it before, I've said it for a while, this channel needs a total overhaul. So one of these days, this channel is going to get one. But in the meanwhile, it's really just more like a hobby channel where I just kind of do this stuff for fun and don't really worry about the subs. And consider yourself like in a lucky special club, you know? Like eventually, when this channel becomes big and popular, it's going to lose that intimacy. So let's enjoy it while it lasts, right?
I have my DMs.
Hey, if he's good to see you again.
Instagram. If
don't we all?
Or you have something to say, even if it's constructive and not hateful, hey, I'll probably respond to you at some point.
Foodie has thin skin on the internet, but she has very thick skin on her face. If you look at her face, like especially around her nose, that is some really thick, porous skin. So she definitely can talk about being thin-skinned.
I can't guarantee when, especially the loving, nice people.
Oh, man. Oh, Nirvana, let me tell you something. That is something the way where people store their fat, look at Foodie. It's so genetic. Like the way it's so biological, the way that she keeps all of her fat like a penguin. Like she just gets bigger front to back. My mother, for example, she looks fine when her weight is down, but when she starts to put the weight on, it all goes to her waist. She only gained like maybe 10 pounds, but she gained like it all in her waist. And now that she's losing the weight, it's all coming off of her waist. So she's losing, it's crazy like how quickly it changes for some people, but it really does.
Like,
Fallen Angel joined the Doctor's Associate.
Picturing your full name.
Welcome in, Fallen Angel. You found it.
I'm gonna out you. I don't care if your information, because honestly, if you're gonna message really hateful things like that to me, you deserve it.
You got to look to find it.
Anyone to harass anybody, you need to learn that that's horrible to do to people.
Welcome in, Fallen Angel. Thank you for the membership. Now I got to figure out some emotes for you.
And he doesn't
thank you, Kitty J.
She was like at the top of the list, trying to schmooze up to my husband.
Let me pause it and thank everybody. Let me properly thank you folks, Kitty J and Fallen Angel. Now I gotta get some emotes ready. I'm trying to think of some good ones. But yeah, I did get it set up. I just have to formally, give you some proper bonuses. But thank you very much for being the members on the YouTube channel. I hopefully will be able to offer more membership options in the future. But for now, we only have YouTube for the moment. So if YouTube is your preferred method, we do have YouTube. And as always, there is no obligation to join any memberships through YouTube. It's just, if it's something fun to do, if you want to do it to support the channel, that's cool. If you'd rather not, that's cool too. But it's definitely appreciated. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Fallen Angel. And thank you very much, Kitty J.
It reeks of desperation. That's all I gotta say. I'm over 350 pounds.
I love that picture.
But I'm still cuter than you, so.
Something, that's a great point you make about the water, because she wasn't really able to walk very well, and she had a lot of difficulty getting to the bathroom quickly. She wasn't drinking enough water because she was having difficulty getting to the restroom quickly. So she would she didn't want to go to the bathroom a lot, so she would drink less water, and it was really slowing her down in the long run. Welcome in, El Sam. Thank you very much for the membership. Much appreciated. Welcome to Doctor's Associate. Hopefully you folks like that name. That was the one I came up with. But yeah, Nirvana, you were very right about that. Let me highlight you there. Okay, yeah, there we go. I can highlight all the people who became members that way. There you go. All right, let's get back to the show.
I don't know where you get the confidence to hit on my husband, but
hey, Otanky, good to see you.
Reality check.
Otanky has a great channel.
Like as if. And I say that because people love to hate on bigger women. They think that having all this extra fat just automatically makes you an attractive person. Because
see, something, Foodie, I don't call it hating. I just call it talking my mess. But I don't hate on you because you're fat. I hate on you because you're such a liar. You're fat because the way you eat, and you lie about how you eat. But if you were honest about how you ate and about how big you were and about how you had no intention to lose any weight, and you were honest about how much you actually weighed, I wouldn't really have as many things to make fun of you about. Like that's the stuff that I make fun of you about, the way you're such a liar.
You know what is sexy? Confidence in the bedroom, confidence in life.
So Salah's not too sexy, is that what you're saying?
Making each other laugh, having a personality that isn't a hateful.
I think Foodie makes plenty of people laugh when she's in the bedroom, but not in the way she means.
Crypt Keeper B. What else? Having a baby face. Indeed. Oh, and that's another thing, Mom. If you're listening, I'm proud of you for not drinking that sweetened tea at lunch. I'm proud of you for just drinking the water. What else?
Anytime,
Being
Otanky.
pretty.
You make great videos. Oh, okay, Hippieista, no problem. You probably
If you
just
have
have
a good face card,
you know what it is, Hippieista? You probably have your channel name is probably set to something else, or your something somewhere on your account is probably set to something else. But welcome in, Hippieista. Thank you for joining.
and I'm not talking about when I do this.
She really is. She gets paid for it.
I look ugly sometimes. Everyone does. Come on, even the most beautiful people.
Foodie is so not confident. Like Glitter and Lasers is not confident either. It's that fake confidence. It's like when somebody talks about how smart they are, it's usually a sign they're not that smart. When somebody talks about how confident they are and about how brave and inspirational they are, they usually are just making that crap up, or they're really full of themselves.
Beyonce got cheated on. What does that tell you? If you have a good face card,
Absolutely, Kenny J. Definitely check out Otanky. And check out KJ too. I love Kelly's videos. That's who I'll put the link on for Kelly. That's whose channel I got right here.
it doesn't matter how big you are. Besides which, my husband has no problem with my body.
Because he never looks at it. I don't know. It's like I don't have any problem with your body either. Because I don't have to see it.
Because I'm diabetic in my health, he does,
You know, don't have as long as I don't have to see it, I don't have a problem with Foodie's body. As long as she keeps it in that buy all day.
He doesn't care about my health. He loves me, right? Like you said, like if I didn't love you, I wouldn't care about that at all. He never harasses me about my looks or anything like that. So
he never harasses you about your looks because he doesn't care. Foodie, Salah, how many times has Salah said that he wants to see you to lose some weight, at least 100 kilos? He said that a whole bunch of times. So he doesn't harass you about your weight because he's given up, not because he doesn't believe you should lose some.
some of you mad because you're wrong again about things in our life.
The only action their bedroom
you
sees
know,
is on the gaming on the
example,
laptop.
Like, there's one reaction channel. I think you probably know her. She's
Welcome
one
in,
of the
Capone
more
Boxer.
popular ones.
Good evening.
Her and her audience always love to say, imagine them being intimate like me and my husband. Dude, is anyone going to actually take a minute and imagine what they are like together intimately? Her and her wife, her greasy wife.
I don't imagine what anybody's like intimately, Foodie. That's something that I think everybody should do less of. I think we should all do less of imagining other people sexually in general. Like most of the time it's nasty, and the rest of the time it's probably just creepy.
I'm nauseous. It's giving squishy. Okay, so please check yourself. Please. And while you're at it, check yourself into a mental health facility because your obsession with our bedroom activities, our bodily functions, our lives is it's not normal. It's not normal.
I think it is possible to obsess a little too much. I think Foodie might have a point there. I don't know who she's talking to directly here, but it is possible to get too caught up in this stuff. I know some people can do that.
Even this weirdo who messaged me on Instagram. Do you know, since I started my channel, she started out as being a super fan. I remember the name. And then she became the biggest hater. Your behavior is worse than mine at this point, okay? So
Fallen Angel, there's a shoe for every foot. That's what I say there. There's a shoe for every foot. Some people, they like, they like a bigger size. Some people like smaller size. Some people, they don't care about size at all. So, it really is just it's a very individual thing. You can't generalize when it comes to
you
things
must hate
like
yourself
that.
as well. There's just no logic to it otherwise. And if it's because I'm fat, because you always make fun of my weight, it must be because a big woman is prettier and more confident than you.
Foodie just always tries to go personal. I think that's another reason why Foodie is so easy to make fun of, because she always sets herself up. She's like, "Oh, I'm big and I'm confident and I'm hot." And it's like, Foodie, you're so not. The more you talk about how great you are, it's like glitter and lasers. The more she talks about how brave and amazing she is, the faker and the more pathetic she looks.
Stay mad. For the rest of you, I had to get that off my chest.
I think the filters
I
have
love you
something
guys
to
so
do with
much.
that, to be
Thank
fair.
you for listening to me
But
always.
yeah, she's
and
got
having
odd
dinner with me.
odd skull.
And yeah, I guess that's it. See you in the next one.
That's fair, Fallen Angel. That's very fair. I think, you know, and it's not just girl world. It's anything. Some people, they get too into politics, or they get too into drama, or they get too into gaming. Anything can become too much, right? So I think everything, they should try to have a little moderation on it, right? On any subject. So and in fact, that's part of why I like to do this show. I want to do it a little more often, but I mean, part of why I like to do this show is, like I said to Hippieista the other day, give you a place to get away from the serious stuff, you know, that you got on your mind. Get away from all that. Just have a little fun. So let me put on here a video. We watched one from this channel last week. It's a great channel. I have a new video from them. We're going to watch it. I don't like to copy their videos, but this one, it's already, I think everybody's already watched now. It's been out for a full week. It's about a rapper from New York who was so heavy she was kicked out of a Lyft. So, right? That's pretty crazy, right? When you think about it, getting kicked out of a Lyft, but it happened.
There are 2 girls from school that I am praying get so humongous that they have to.
She's hired a lawyer and is suing Lyft.
Here we go. So that's where I got the title of the show, by the way. Who's got a bad rap? Oh, and by the way, do you folks like my my subtitle for the show? I was thinking of keeping that. Girl World, Real Talk. Hosted by Docta Fill. I thought that was a good subtitle, like to have for the channel. Girl World, Real Talk. I think that's a good description. But anyway, yes. So here's a fabulous video. Let me give you a link to it. We're gonna react to it. It's a great channel to check out. But yeah, here we go. Let's watch a little.
Well, from a legal standpoint, it seems like obvious discrimination.
I can fit in this car.
But believe me, you can.
Yes, I can. What makes you think I can't fit in this car?
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car.
Always with the
Imagine
hyperbole.
this. You're all dressed up, ready for a big night out. You call for a cab, and 10 minutes later, your ride is here to take you to your event. But when you reach for the handle, it's locked. Surely this is a mistake. But no. Rather than unlocking his doors, he rolls down his window to tell you that he can't take you. You're too big for his car. Looking at his 10-year-old compact sedan, tires worn down to bare, and an engine that already sounds to be struggling, you realize that this chariot is...
I actually had to take a perfect time, pause frame right there. I actually had to take a lot of ride sharing for like a month. I was having some car issues for a while, and took a lot of Lyfts, a lot of Ubers, especially when I was visiting mom, who was just nearby. And most of the time, it was a pretty positive experience. But every now and then, you'd get in a vehicle and it like smelled like dog, or just, you know, every now and then you got in a vehicle or like it really stank like old cigarettes or blunts. That was one too. Like, I mean, I don't care if people smoke weed, but sometimes you'd get in the car and there would be such a strong like weed smell. Like they smelled like they had just smoked a blunt, like the second before you got in the car. And it's like, come on, man, like, you know, air out the car at least a little bit.
no match for your 500-pound frame. You have outgrown a full-ass car. And you think to yourself, how did I let things slide so far? First, it was the airplane seats getting a little too tight. Then the seat belts couldn't quite latch. But now, to not even fit
that's the lawyer.
the car, and suddenly you see the error in your ways. You have to get real with yourself and really stick to a diet this time. This is finally the wake-up call that you needed. JK, that did not happen. Because this is America, where when faced with the reality of the consequences of your actions, you sue. Obviously.
Duh.
So today we're getting...
Yeah, I think that's that, Miss Fab here makes a good point. That it's if it was just simply, they had a disagreement and she's like, hey, I'm angry that he didn't want to give me a ride. All right, whatever. It's fair to be unhappy. But to this whole lawsuit, I think the lawsuit doesn't really have much merit. But apparently there's a law that on the books that might allow this lawsuit to rule in her favor, which seems like some bad law. But we're going to get into more of that as this video goes on. This is actually a pretty long video. Miss Fab here does a very in-depth video. She does a very good job.
Into this little trending topic that is the rapper known as
Dank DeMoss, as she's
I'm
known
sorry
at
to
the
hear that,
moment.
Rudy.
She shared a video on her Instagram detailing this horrific act of injustice. A Lyft driver dared to refuse her a ride.
I will tell you, Rudy, I will dox myself a little bit. I will say my birthday month is September. September is my birthday month, Rudy. You got the facts.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What?
Welcome in, Susie Q.
Yeah, I got no space in my car is small.
I can fit in this car.
But believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me. So, I'm sorry.
What am I do about my money?
Also, the way that she started recording the incident instead of just saying, all right, well, it is what it is. I mean, I could understand wanting to record it because the potential of a financial dispute. So, I mean, I guess I could understand why she recorded it. But why would she then put it on social media? Like, what's the point of putting that on social media? Why does she want this negative attention for not being able to fit into the vehicle? Because she probably put this on the internet thinking that, oh man, I'm gonna really look good on the social media because I was discriminated against for being so fat. But I'm not seeing that. What I'm seeing is a guy whose car doesn't really, maybe is not in the best of shape, and he doesn't feel like it can adequately support her weight, and the vehicle may get damaged, or even worse, if she were to get stuck inside the car and then couldn't get out and then damage the car getting out, it would be a disaster. So he offered to refund her the money and say, look, you can't really fit in the car. It's not going to work. I'm just going to refund you the money and call a larger vehicle.
I'm going to cancel you. You're not going to be charged.
Says it's not going to be charged.
I can't get in the lift because I can't fit in your car.
Yeah, you need to order a bigger car.
What makes you think I can't fit in the car?
At least this man had the
Yeah.
courtesy to say this to her face. He didn't just take one look,
35.
aside and screech off.
35 years
No,
young.
he was polite about it. And honestly, if he had just dipped out immediately, then she wouldn't have had the video evidence that she needed to
Probably.
file the lawsuit. But Buddy here told her specifically that she needed to order the Uber XL,
32
or
years young.
whatever Lyft's equivalent is.
So every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
No, I don't.
Rudy with an opinion here. This is why I'm getting disappointed in social media. Instead of women playing sports or fitness, at least play soccer or basketball or sports where they wear shorts. I get disappointed. I think I get his point. He's saying, that this woman here is posting a video about getting kicked out of a car instead of, doing some kind of fitness and trying to get recognized for something good. At least I think that's what he means.
Never have to order an Uber XL.
And to me, this should be good enough reason. He's not saying
I
that
don't
Lyft
know who
cannot
Gail
accommodate
is.
her. They can.
I'm
He's
sorry,
just saying
Rudy,
that
I don't know
his
who Gail
vehicle
is.
Is not equipped to handle her. Not every vehicle is handicap accessible, and not every vehicle can handle such a wide load. So there's a bit of back and forth with her trying to explain that she's fit in cars this size before, and just being in
You're not
absolute
old yet.
disbelief that she's being refused.
You got plenty of time to be old.
Yes, I have. I've been in cars small.
Okay. She says she's been in cars that were smaller. But just because the car was smaller on the outside doesn't mean it was smaller on the inside. And I think personally, as somebody who's driven an old car before, it's very possible the guy's car may have been more damaged than he wanted to admit. He didn't want to admit that his vehicle was not safe, but maybe he knew that the chair was damaged. Maybe he knew one of the suspension was about to give out. The brakes were about to give out. Maybe he knew that his vehicle was not as safe as it should have been, and he didn't feel like taking the chance of having this extra large woman in the back because he He barely felt safe driving it as it was, which may have been a possibility. So, I mean, and again, he offered to refund her the money. So I think that was fair. It's not like he said, hey, you wasted my time coming out here. I need, you know, I got to get paid for my time. If he said something like that and still refused to give her the ride, I think she'd have a really good argument. But he was going to refund her 100%. It's not like he left her out, you know, in the middle of the woods or something. You know, she was at home or she was, you know, indoors.
Smarter than that.
My best friend has a Benz that's newer than this that I can.
And why does she keep calling him an MF? Is that really necessary to call him an MF? I mean, he's been very respectful.
That's the same size.
But then her driver goes on to say something a little interesting.
You know, Deja Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit.
She is really big. And you know what else? She looks really out of shape too. Like sometimes like you see somebody big, but they have like some tone. She looks very flabby. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying like she looks very flabby. She doesn't look toned at all. She looks like somebody who just sits all day. She doesn't look like somebody who walks at all. Look how skinny her calves are from here. Right? Like her legs are actually really skinny. She has no leg muscle. She's just all flab.
Lions watch party this
Yeah, look how small her legs and calves are. She's got no muscle on there.
month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires, you know.
So you really telling me I'm too big
Gail
to
King.
use a car?
I don't really know
I
Gail
gotta
King.
order another Lyft.
And to be more specific with you, I got very tired tires.
61. Well, you look
What I got to
doing
do
great
with
for
your tires?
61, Hippieista.
You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know.
So he
A slap in the face to say his time. Yeah, she is just. I don't like to say this because I think it's overused. The whole victim mentality, you know, discussion is been done to death. But I really do believe this woman has some kind of a victim mentality here, because she's talking about how it was a slap in the face when he said no, it wasn't a slap in the face. He was trying to get out of it as respectfully as he could. And I think that the mistake he made is in our very litigious culture in America. What he should have done, and I hate to say it, is he should have just left her ass. He should have not given her that recording so that she could have had that evidence to use against him in a court of law. He should have just driven past her and said you didn't see her, and just acted like he didn't see her, and then there wouldn't be any lawsuit against him, and he'd be doing, you know, wouldn't have to be dealing with any of this bad publicity. And that's very unfortunate, because what he tried to do is he tried to do what he felt was the right thing, where he stopped, he said to her, hey, straight up, you know, I can't take you, my car's, you know, it's not really going to support your weight, I don't think, or you might get stuck in here. Just call another Lyft. I won't charge you anything. It's cool. Don't worry about it. He tried to do the right thing in his mind. And instead of her being grateful and saying, all right, thank you for telling me, I'm going to call another Lyft. You know, I mean, I don't like that you can't give me the ride, but at least you gave me back the money. All right, it is what it is.
He said there that he's got tired tires, which I'm assuming that he means that he's just driving with worn out tires, which is not a good idea in any circumstance. But if you're carrying a load that is close to the capacity of your vehicle, this could be very dangerous if you get into a situation where you need to brake at an emergency rate. Will
That's
your
wonderful,
brakes
though.
even hold? Like, those tires should, in theory, be totally fine to handle that sort of weight, assuming that he hasn't got them like super overinflated or something stupid. But that isn't even the most dangerous part about carrying somebody of Miss Dank's size in a vehicle that is not designed for such
67.
mass. Now, to be clear, his vehicle should have been able to technically carry her. Most sedans
He could say, yeah, right? He could claim he thought it was an elephant. He thought it was a hippo or something. There's no hippos in Brooklyn, wherever he was.
will have a carrying capacity of around 800 to 1,000 pounds. So at 500 or about 550 pounds, as she's stated,
Well, that's an
she
interesting.
could have technically been within.
That's an interesting point. And Miss Fab here actually addresses that later toward the end of the video. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but she addresses later in the video that a compromise that could work is perhaps Lyft could reimburse the driver for a seatbelt extension. I think that's a good idea. But even with the extension, she was big enough. You know, if his car was not adequately maintained, there's a possibility it was not safe. And ultimately, it's the driver's decision. It really is. The driver ultimately has the right to refuse service to anybody for any reason, basically any reason. I mean, that's legal. You're not allowed to refuse for religion or race, and I'm sure there's some other things that you're not allowed to. But you get my point. But other than a few certain things, you can refuse basically for any reason to give a ride. So the driver would have been better just to keep his mouth shut and let his lawyer or let Lyft or let whoever, you know, the legal minds give him a reason that he's allowed to say.
The vehicle's weight
By
limit,
being honest,
assuming that the driver
screwed
wasn't
himself
also
over.
supersized and he wasn't carrying any sort of cargo. But vehicles are still not designed to carry someone of her size. Vehicles are not designed to have a 500-pound payload seated in one corner of the vehicle like that. It will affect the vehicle's braking as well as increase the possibility of a tire blowout, as the driver was worried about, and it'll also affect the vehicle's handling going around curves, increasing the vehicle's propensity to roll. And long-term, carrying passengers...
Well, that stinks, Fiona's mom. I know that my mother uses, she would use Uber and Lyft, and I know that she had some disagreements with some drivers, but I see it from the driver's perspective too, where if I mean, I don't know if my mom was being upfront. As long as you tell them up front that you have, you know, that you need some additional assistance or something, then it shouldn't be an issue. You know, I mean, as long as you're straight up. You know, if they say they're okay with it, then they should, they shouldn't change their mind at the last minute. That's not cool.
Of this size can have detrimental effects on the vehicle's shocks, suspension, and even its transmission. And this is all without even mentioning the issue of seat belts. What was her plan if she did fit in? Just hold
she does
on
look
and hope
nice.
for the best? Because let's say
she's very
she
smart.
did fit into this vehicle as she so vehemently claimed that she could. What are the chances that she'd be able to fit that seatbelt around her? Pretty slim. An unbelted 500-pound passenger becomes a 500-pound person.
Agreed. If Uber and Lyft were providing the car, they absolutely would be putting a weight limit on passengers. But because the car is provided by the driver, Lyft is like, well, you know, we're just going to let the driver. That's the other thing about Lyft and Uber I really don't like, is that they really are not good companies to work for. Everybody I've talked to has said that they do not support the drivers. Like if the drivers have any issues, they just leave you they leave you to hang.
Projectile in a crash. Even at 30 miles an hour, that is not something that looks survivable. And we've encountered this seatbelt issue before in the super morbidly obese when talking about ride shares. For example, looking at J-Bay.
Every time I use a ride share.
Oh, J-Bay, she is the worst. Do you folks want me to cover some J-Bay? Because she doesn't really do a lot of content, but I could do some retro reacts to J-Bay. She is just so entitled and obnoxious and oblivious. She is just so, she's just the worst.
I'm forced to ride without a seatbelt because there are no seatbelt extenders. It's time to make it mandatory for ride shares to provide seatbelt extenders.
Okay, so I am a little bit...
And I think she pointed this out earlier. They do make an Uber XL option, which is like it's like where they have SUVs or, you know, station wagons, or I don't even know what you'd call it these days, but they have like bigger vehicles. Specifically, if you need a larger vehicle, like if you had a larger party of people, or maybe if you had a pet carrier or something like that.
Divided on this issue. On one hand, you did this to yourself, your actions have consequences, and those consequences now include things like not fitting into a typical seatbelt. On the other hand, at only like 20 or 30 bucks, ride shares like Uber and Lyft should be able to afford to reimburse their drivers to buy a seatbelt extender, because no, these things are not interchangeable. So even if J-Bay or Miss Dank were carrying their own seatbelt,
J-Bay, okay, we'll cover some J-Bay.
Vehicle. And another influencer, I believe her name is pronounced Chaya. She faced the same problem when trying her city's new self-driving cars.
I'm too fat to safely ride in a Waymo.
So entitled.
Me too. I buckled my seatbelt. No way I was riding in a futuristic self-driving machine without it. And bam, the seatbelt clicked and immediately locked. Okay, it happens. Let me try again. Removing my seatbelt instantly made the car scream at me.
I'm surprised that here's the thing I don't get. And I'm not saying that that there shouldn't be some compromise worked out. A seatbelt extender sounds reasonable as long as you're not exceeding the weight limit for the vehicle. But why is she so surprised that the seatbelt doesn't fit? Like, does the seatbelt normally fit when she gets in the car? I find it hard to believe that this is something that only happens, in this video here.
But I had to. The seatbelt locked yet again almost instantly.
She's acting so
Damn it.
surprised.
And
but
before
I mean,
you think I'm the problem, we're just too damn fat for this car, the seatbelt locked on my smaller wife too. Fat people deserve a
the seatbelt locked on my... I mean, that woman's not exactly that small either, to be fair.
safe, comfortable ride just like anyone else. Waymo, you need to provide seatbelt extenders. It's as simple as that. They're relatively inexpensive and should simply be in the car for customers to use when they're needed.
And just as a disclaimer, this lady does have
On one hand, I like the idea of a seatbelt extender, but I think the issue that we run into with seatbelt extenders is then we get into the issue of there is a weight limit for what the car can handle. And just because somebody can fit under the seatbelt with an extension doesn't mean they can safely fit within the weight limit. So there has to be some oversight to make sure that the seatbelt extender is not enabling unsafe conditions. Because just because they could put an extension on and squeeze somebody into a car doesn't mean they're safe.
some actual useful information on her account when it comes to things like vehicle maintenance. She makes it really easy and accessible. However, I don't think she's fully thinking this through when it comes to safety in the vehicle. Her main goal here just seems to be able to...
I've actually looked into this just a little bit, and the issue with seatbelt extenders in cars is every car has its own different seatbelt design. So each car has its own specific extension that you need to get for it, or you need to get an adapter, and you can't they don't make a universal extender like they do for airplane seats, at least as far as I know. So that's a bit of one of the issues they have with it.
Fit physically in the vehicle. But seatbelts are a piece of safety equipment that are engineered and rigorously tested to be able to save you in a crash or at least minimize your injuries. Just because you can get the seatbelt to click does not mean that you've solved the issue of your weight exceeding the design limitations of this piece of equipment. Being super morbidly obese means that your seatbelt is likely to ride up your stomach and up your neck.
Like a good example is if a pregnant woman might need a seatbelt extender, but she's still totally within the weight limit. Somebody like ALR might not need a seatbelt extender because she's not that big up top. Like she can kind of probably squeeze that seatbelt in a way where she could fit it on, but she's still probably over the weight limit for the vehicle. So just because you can get the seatbelt on doesn't mean that you fit.
Seatbelts should be worn across your hips. Push the belt as far down as you can, under your belly if possible.
Seatbelts that are worn improperly like this will increase your risk of internal injuries and even strangulation.
I got a story about back when I was fat. Oh, and I found a picture of back when I was fat. I'm going to put it on next week, I think. If I could, I got to remember to do it, but I found a picture from back when I was fat. But yeah, one time I was trying to save some money and I was going to visit some family and I was going to get my car repaired. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put my car in the shop and I'm going to take the Greyhound to visit the family and they'll drive me back to go pick up my car and it'll all work out. On that Greyhound, I was big, but I was not that big. I was maybe 270 pounds. I could barely fit in that seat. I sat next to the skinniest, smallest, oldest guy in the world. And thank goodness I did, because that was the only way it was going to work.
Even worse than this, having the seatbelt ride up like this means that it's probably not going to adequately secure you.
And I was a lot smaller than that woman.
It's designed to do. And that means you now run the risk of sliding out and under your seatbelt. And yes, this does happen. If you're not wearing your seatbelt properly, it will not function.
And then I want to point that out also. I don't discriminate against people. If you're big, you're big. If you're small, you're small. As long as you're being real with yourself, that's what matters most here. I think I try not to be judgmental.
as it's meant to. And if you're so obese that
I
you
think it's
can't
good to
fit
be
a seatbelt
healthy, but
around
I
you as
don't
it's
judge
intended
people
to be worn, then
if
you
you
risk not
if you
only
carry
your
a
own
extra weight.
safety, but the safety of everybody else in the car as well. And this is not
Right?
to mention the
It was
extra
just a
force
short
that you're
trip.
putting on that seatbelt.
Oh, no
Maybe
problem,
the belt
Fiona's mom.
itself will stay intact.
I didn't take
but
anything
will the
negative.
buckle? Was the buckle designed for that much force? I don't know, but snapping an XL extender into your seat is not going to increase the strength of that buckle or the fit of the belt. So I forgot to mention here that there's also an entrapment risk. So like in the case of an emergency, like a fire, for example, you're going to want to be able to exit your vehicle as immediately as possible. And beyond that, we've seen examples on My 600-Pound Life where getting stuck in a vehicle has put a patient in serious risk of injury.
And she's down, stuck on the floor, and unable to get up now with the position she's in. And my concern is that the strain of that will lead to her suffering cardiac arrest here soon if we don't get her up.
Oh my goodness, I've never seen that clip. That's a really scary clip.
So what's the solution here?
Let's actually watch
Honestly,
that again.
I
That was shocking. Let's watch this once more. I guess trigger warning for anybody if this is something that you've experienced or seen.
And beyond that, we've seen examples on My 600-Pound Life where getting stuck in a vehicle has put a patient in serious risk of
Wow.
injury.
And she's down, stuck on the floor.
Yeah, that's what could have happened with that rapper. She's even built kind of like her. She even looks kind of like her. You know, with the big belly. Like that totally could have been that rapping woman. Could have ended up falling down like that. I mean, that car was too small for that to happen, I guess, but still.
And unable to get up now with the position she's in. And my concern is that the strain of that will lead to her suffering cardiac arrest here soon if we don't get her up.
Agreed, Nutty.
So what's the solution?
My mother actually had a boyfriend for a while, and I could not believe how active he was at his weight. I mean, I think he ended up experiencing like a lot of knee problems and other problems later, but he used to like walk around a lot, and he had to have been over 400 pounds. But he used to, you know, move around. He used to be on his feet all day long. I don't know how he did it at his body weight, but he did.
Honestly, I don't really know. Normal passenger vehicles aren't designed to carry 500-pound people.
I'm sorry about that.
These people exist, and we can't expect them to just immediately lose the weight. They're going to need transportation services as well. But should we remake all cars so that every car can accommodate a 500-pound person? No, I don't think that's very reasonable. It's good that manufacturers are actually working to increase vehicle.
Okay, so I think this is basically, we don't need to cover her whole video. I think this covers the meat of the subject here. The only other thing that's really left to discuss is this discrimination according to law. And I don't really want to get into that so much because, first of all, I think that's just, you know, I think that she covers it really well in her video. I don't need my opinion. I'll just give my opinion quickly. In Minnesota, apparently it is a law. You're not allowed to discriminate based on weight. But I think this is kind of a loophole where it's really more of an issue of discriminating based on safety rather than weight. Discriminating based on, you know, the car, the vehicle, the physics. I think there needs to be an exception made for when there's a physical discrimination. It's like when somebody is just too heavy for the equipment. That's not discrimination. That's not, you know, oh, I don't like you because you're big and I don't want you to have this, you know, I don't want to serve you because I think you're too big. It's not like that. So I think that this should not be legal. I don't think this is legal. I don't think she should have a legal case here, but it's going to depend on the law. It's going to depend on the jury, and I hope that they make, you know, the right decision here, in my opinion. So let me put on here a different video here. We got ALR talking about semaglutide and her dieting. So I wanted to cover that, I think, because I think that's really interesting. Semaglutide, also known as, I'm trying to think what's the other word for it. It's also known as Wegovy. I can't remember the other word for it, but there's like a name for it. But anyway, Amber here is talking about her diet and about the drugs, and I think it's really interesting. So let's cover that.
On January.
But yeah, what do you folks think about the woman? Do you think that the lawsuit is reasonable? Do you think the lawsuit should be thrown out? Do you think the lawsuit is a good lawsuit? Do you think that she should get some compensation? What do you folks think about the lawsuit? Anybody watching the replay, I'd love to hear what you think. Thank you again to all my wonderful chatters, all my wonderful members. Also now, shout out my members, Fallen Angel, KJ, and Hippieista. Oh yes, and everybody, please hit that like button if you're enjoying the show, and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more of this content. Always appreciate to have more subscribers. Click that bell if you'd like to get notifications.
January 6th when I weighed myself.
What'd she say? I was what?
So, on January 6th when I weighed myself, Tommy was here. I was feeling flustered.
So this was back when she was still dating Tommy. And a lot of people believe she's still dating Tommy. And the breakup was just for the camera. It was done just to distract from some drama that was occurring. Apparently ALR had been a creep in the past, and there'd been some focus on it, some discussion about it.
You know, a lot of things were happening because she was actually supposed to leave that day, etc., etc. And so I didn't even film my weigh-in. I wasn't even thinking. I just stepped on the scale, and I remember putting it in my journal. I was 517.6. So that means in half a year, I've gained 40 pounds about. That's a lot, but I have gained more than that in a smaller amount of time in the past. So you know what? I'm going to take what I can get.
Okay, so she's saying here she's gained about 40 pounds in 6 months, which is, I mean, there's really no, I mean, it's crazy how she's managed to, she's spinning this as if it's a good thing. Like, well, I've gained more than that in the past, so I can't be too upset, right? Only 40 pounds in 6 months. That's not so bad. That's still a lot of weight. That's still a lot of weight. That's more than 5 pounds a month. That's well over a pound a week. And when you're as big as Amber, you can make an argument that it's not a lot of weight by percentage. But at the same time, she has to eat a lot just to maintain her body weight. So for her to gain means that she is really overeating.
Yeah. For someone my
let me cover your
size,
comments
gaining
here.
40 pounds is super freaking easy to do, especially with lymphedema and lymphedema. Like, I can gain 10 pounds in 2 days. Easy. Regardless, I lost 30 pounds super quickly on semaglutide, completely stopped at cold turkey, gained that weight really quickly back. It happened. It is what it is. Now we're moving on.
Ozempic, yes, thank you.
So with this semaglutide, which I shared in, I think, my last video, but it was towards the end, so I don't know if everyone saw it. This semaglutide is mixed with B12. Last time I took semaglutide, it was mixed with like sodium something or other. So I'm probably low in B12, so I'm kind of happy that it's mixed with that. And plus,
yes,
that feels
please.
a little more like healthier for my body. So I will say,
you know, Fallen Angel, I've really have not looked into these drugs enough personally. I've looked into them somewhat, and they look promising, but I need to do more research because there's so many different variations that I feel like the next few years, a lot of practical research is going to come out. Just people are going to get experience using the drugs. People are going to get side effects. People are going to have success. There's going to be success stories. There's going to be people who have bad stories. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out and which variants, which compounds end up being the most popular ones, the ones people tolerate the best, the most effective, the most affordable.
that last time I took semaglutide versus this time, I am experiencing different side effects and different feelings on it. But I also want to add, just like last time, I also quit smoking Delta 8 because Delta 8 gives me the munchies. I don't think as clearly when it comes to eating, etc., etc. So last time I also quit smoking. This time I am as well. So the side effects I am having could be a contribution
Welcome
to
in, Sage Clover.
And the fact that I did quit smoking.
Good point there, I agree.
That causes me to have the munchies. But either way, something is happening. So the side effects that I am getting this time is there have been a few days I have woken up and I have felt extremely nauseous. Like literally I need to go stand over a toilet, but I don't puke. So that's good. It's just like
interesting. The paleo, I think the paleo meal plan is pretty good in general. I really like it overall. I mean, I'm not really on any specific diet at the moment. I'm just trying to maintain my weight. Right now I'm doing pretty well. But I think the paleo meal plan, from what I've seen overall, is pretty good. I'm a big fan of just cutting out a lot of artificial ingredients. I'm a big believer in cutting out the palm oil and the soybean oil. So I think that and paleo diet incorporates a lot of that as well. So I think overall it's a pretty good diet. I need to do more research on it before I really, endorse it. But from what I've seen, it looks good.
Bad nauseous feeling. Normally I have like such an urge to order takeout.
It's
like,
fair to be cautious.
I really want to order takeout. I don't want to cook. I don't care to cook. But on semaglutide, like
fantastic.
I noticed that, like
it's still
like,
fantastic if
for
you eat stuff.
It goes away. So I have been cooking more at home. I've been eating all my meals at home, which I am very proud of that. I'm not really aiming to like eat healthier. Like, oh my God, let's get so many fruits and vegetables in and this and that. Like, girl, I'm gonna be taking this slow. Like, I know myself and I want to eat foods that I enjoy.
She wants to eat foods that she enjoys. And I think she's trying to insinuate that the medication is making it harder for her to eat what she likes, which is probably why it's helping her to lose weight. I mean, that kind of just, it's almost funny when you think about it. It stops her from eating what she likes, but what she likes is like really fattening. So that's good. And Fiona's mom here is pointing out that you can gain a lot of weight from ascites with liver failure, but her weight has been going down though. Still, despite that, yeah, that's a good point. Interesting. That's interesting too. Nirvana, it's one of those things where I think that some people they want it to be more complex, so they have an excuse for why they don't succeed. But it's something that's simple, but it's not easy, I guess you could say.
It's quite that simple. So I still have been eating things like chocolate, which I do
still
want
eating
to
chocolate.
Like,
okay.
Slow that down and not do it so often. Yes, but I'm not gonna just like overnight become just a health queen. It's not gonna happen. Okay, so I did weigh myself today. So here's
respect
that,
for being honest, Fallen Angel.
Record it. Okay.
I can be the first to admit that I love to eat my sweets, even when I'm trying to eat healthy. I'll still usually, make some room in my diet for things like cookies or some slice of cinnamon, cinnamon roll, something like that. And I think it's important to have treats. I think that you should have treat days on your diet. Unless you're on a very, very strict diet, you can usually have, some meals or some snacks here and there that you don't have to be too strict about. But you have to be able to just have a treat and then go back on to eating, mostly healthy stuff. You can't, have that one treat turn into just nothing but junk food.
January 10th, weigh in. Let's do it.
Hello.
Agreed.
508.6 pounds.
So Amber's 508 on the scale there. I one thing about Amber, I mean, it's possible that her weight is higher than she lets on and she's faking the weigh-ins. But I think that her weight is probably not too much higher than 5-something. So I think that she's a lot more honest about her weight than Foodie is, at least. I think that she's giving us a weight that's somewhere near her real weight, whereas Foodie is lying by at least 100 pounds.
So 508.6 means I am down 9 pounds since Monday, and today's only Friday.
Good point.
Which I expected to happen because no longer smoking Delta 8 and now taking semaglutide and
Yep.
just not ordering so much takeout. And I'm also a little...
Not ordering so much takeout, not using the Delta 8, using the semaglutide. So in other words, that's why Amber is so heavy, because she does everything wrong. Everything that she could possibly do to get fat, she's doing. She's smoking the Delta 8, which gives her munchies. She's ordering takeout regularly. And she's, eating all kinds of stuff she knows she shouldn't. She's doing everything she can. She's eating large portions regularly. And then she pretends like she doesn't.
Less active because while Tommy was here, like I'm telling you, we're on the go every single day.
While Tommy was here, we were on the go. Yeah, we were going to different restaurants and eating.
And when I'm on the go, I swell. That's how it is with someone with lipedema and lymphedema. So that 9-pound weight loss is definitely a lot of water weight, probably like 96% water weight. And I'm fully aware of that, but I already feel better.
Welcome in, Christy Claw.
That matters to me. Okay, guys, it is time to meal plan.
I heard some of it. I did hear that she, you know what? That's a fair point. She allegedly she was over 700 at one point. She lied about that. So, but she still closer than Foodie is. At least she's somewhere near her real weight, whereas Foodie is nowhere near her weight.
Your girl said meal plan. So I'm just going to use the notes on my
But
MacBook
no, that's a good point.
to do that. So I am on the semaglutide, and I'm telling you,
Well, Amber's probably taking more than
like
one.
That like huge desire to order takeout. So I've been eating more at home. I'm not trying to be.
It takes away the desire to order takeout, so she eats more at home. Is that how it works? Was that what semaglutide does? It makes you not want to use your apps to order takeout. I thought it actually reduced your appetite. It didn't just reduce your desire for takeout.
Unrealistically healthy. I'm simply just like eating at home. Okay. So meal plan is going to go as such. So I am grocery shopping tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. So I'm simply just going to write down all the days of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I think she's addicted to writing it out.
So then I can just go through and decide that way. So what I'm going to
So
be meal
yum.
planning is simply like what I want like my main meal to be that day, which is usually dinner. So Sunday, tomorrow, I won't.
She writes out this big meal plan, but this to me feels like this is just something she's doing to make a video. Like I've got a feeling she does not stick to any of this stuff that she writes out. Like people in the chat are pointing out. Amber loves to fill her diaries with meaningless plans that never come through.
Have to plan for that, thankfully, because I am having a little mother-daughter moment. So we're gonna
Organizing
get some dinner together. I'm just gonna put out with mom. And then Monday, I'm craving tacos. I think I'm gonna do tacos for Monday and Tuesday. I'm not usually like a leftover girly, but some foods
Good point.
I can withstand.
She's not changed herself in years.
So I definitely can withstand some like taco meat the next day, so I'll be fine with that. I've also really been enjoying like soups. There's this like potato Mexican soup that I kind of made up.
Potato Mexican soup. Why do I have, soup is one of those things that it can be very healthy, but it can also be extremely unhealthy. If you make soup with like potatoes and cream and cheese, and you can make soup that's so unhealthy, it's you might as well just eat a hamburger.
So I'm definitely going to be doing that. Maybe I can show you guys a recipe, but I'm telling you.
Creamy
it's
potato
so good.
soup with
And then
cheese?
Thursday.
No.
What do I want? Maybe Thursday we can do like a rice type of soup.
A rice type of soup filled with rice. Does she even consider that she's on any kind of a diet? Or is it sounds like she's trying to think of like fattening stuff to eat just to satisfy her cravings.
Deal type situation. I have been really craving soup.
She's eating to live, y'all. She's just eating to live. She's just nourishing her body, y'all.
Soups and just like warm foods, comforting foods. So with both of the soups, I do like to use either like ground turkey or beef. So I think what I'm going to do
Good point,
is
Sage.
I'm going to split the beef between those 2 days. And then Friday, I like to go to bingo with my mom. So I'm just going to put bingo so I won't really have to plan for that day.
So I won't have to really plan for that. So in other words, we're just going to go out to eat on Friday. So in other words, she's already planning to go out to eat on Friday. This does not sound like a diet meal plan. This sounds like a plan for somebody going on a vacation who's trying to figure out like stuff to go and eat.
Usually we eat at bingo. Saturdays also
we eat at bingo
because I like to spend
creamy
Saturdays
potato
with
soup.
my mom. So I think for that day I might just put spending it with mom.
Better choice, yeah.
We did not spend
Good
today
point,
together
Nutty.
Because again,
in fact, most crispy crackers and chips in general, I love them. I think they taste good, but they're usually a poor choice on a diet because they're so loaded with carbs and fat, and they when you eat them, they just kind of turn to mush in your mouth. Like they don't really fill you up. They don't have any bulk.
and it's been cold and snowy. Like the other day, my mom couldn't even drive to work. So my stepdad had to drive her. Like it's just been kind of like hectic over here in Oklahoma, but we're all safe and
Good
sound.
point, Christy.
So now that I have like my main meals planned, I want to just like make a store list of like, okay, what do I need for the soups and stuff like that. I have been snacking a lot on like chocolates and stuff. I need to find like a little bit better
Snacking on chocolates. Oh my, that is like the worst thing. The other day I cheated my diet. Well, I didn't really cheat. It was more of a treat because I deserved it. I'd lost all the weight. But I got myself a little bag of those Turtles candies. Those things are so darn good. I never really get candy because I know how fattening it is. But I treated myself to some candy and man, it was good.
alternative. Like, girl, I love chocolate, but we need to like just be a little bit better. And then for my other meal, because obviously I'm not just having one meal a day.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I'm
mental there as
craving
well.
Bagels. So I'm gonna need bagels. I'm gonna do cream cheese.
Bagels with cream cheese? Which who does she think she is? Glitter and lasers? She's gonna walk to New York City to get her bagel, and then they're not gonna have it, and she's gonna have to go back and cry in her room, and then the next day get an entire bag full of bagels with an entire bar of cream cheese. But seriously, what kind of diet is this? Bagels with cream cheese. Bagels are so fattening. Like if you get those really little frozen bagels, they're not so bad. But if you get those big bakery style bagels, those things are like 400, 500 calories each. They're huge.
And I kind of want to do the whole, you guys remember that thing I tried with the bacon and scallion? I kind of want to have that like on a bagel. Does that sound hectic?
Bacon on a bagel with cream cheese and this sounds so fattening. It's like she's trying to gain weight.
I don't know. So I'm going to be able to have that for multiple days in a row, actually.
Have that for multiple days in a row. So in other words, she's not just going to have one day with this massively fattening bagels with cream cheese and bacon. She's going to make it a regular thing.
Since there comes with like 6 bagels in one thing. So I'll be able to have that for 6 days. So that's going to work out. But yeah, back to my chocolate alternative. What could I have instead on some days?
What could I have instead of chocolate? If I was going to have something instead of chocolate, so that's a tough one because chocolate's so sweet. What are you going to have instead? I would say have some good fresh fruits. Maybe have I think fresh fruit would be the best choice. But if you have to have something fattening, maybe some yogurt raisins, just like a few.
You know what? I'm just going to Google. What are some
raisins. There you go.
Snacks?
Oh,
cottage
geez.
cheese and fruit, nuts, fruit and yogurt, whole grain
cottage
toast,
cheese and fruit would be good.
Whole grain crackers.
Yogurt. That's good.
Peanut butter and banana, pita and hummus. I want something
Pita and hummus is not good.
So I'm going to
see
say
that's
what are some healthier snacks?
This is what I mean how Amber doesn't really understand dieting much. Like she's willfully ignorant. Like she's not too stupid to understand it. She chooses to not understand it. Because listen to how she talks about all these different foods and she mixes together cottage cheese and fruit, which is absolutely healthy, with hummus and pita. She talks about them as if they're the same thing. One of those is a healthy choice. One of them is an extremely fattening choice. They're not on the same level.
That are sweet. Chocolate chia pudding, trail mix. I do love trail mix. I can like make my own. Chocolate covered bananas, frozen grapes. I do love a frozen grape. Apple and almond.
Trail mix and frozen grapes. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is healthy. One of these things is loaded with calories and very fattening. Maybe it's healthy, but it's also very fattening. Trail mix.
Butter, a smoothie.
Trail mix. Trail mix is for people who are on a trail. Amber, do you realize trail mix is for people on a trail? It's for people who are walking and they're hiking all day long and they don't have any time to stop and eat. So what do? They grab a handful of trail mix because they need something to give them some food because they have no time to stop and eat. It's not for people who sit on their butt all day.
It's like healthy. Trail mix does sound
Welcome
good.
in, Twinkle Toes.
Again, I would probably just add like some chocolate, some nuts. Oh my gosh. I think I might.
She's going to add chocolate and nuts to the trail mix.
Apples and peanut butter. I love.
You like the darker chocolate? I like it sweet.
Apples are more sour compared to like regular red apples.
That too.
Okay, so I meal planned. I'm excited. And then when I'm at the store, obviously, if I see some other things that I could have throughout the week,
I agree.
there, but this is like
an inpatient facility.
Stuff I need. Oh, and I need some stuff for around the house as well. I need some more Sprite Zero. Also want more Cherry Coke Zero. Oh,
okay, the 0-calorie sodas, I don't hate that. I think there are issues with them, and I've discussed them before, so I don't love them either. But I don't hate the diet soda for her. If she's gonna insist on something, sweet to drink, at least it's low cal.
God, so
Speaking
good.
of low cal, I'm gonna get a seltzer. I'll be right back.
Pine Sol.
Did she say she's gonna drink Pine Sol?
Dish soap. I do need more of that. Also, dish sponges. I think that's it.
My hominy and meat soup with all my little goodies to put in there.
Yeah.
I
You
haven't
get
been
radish.
feeling well lately, and I thought soup would be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
You get like lettuce, radish, onion, lime.
This looks amazing.
And then here's mine.
Well, actually, I've had this.
What a mushy, nasty
Yeah,
looking meal that is.
I get your leftovers.
Look at how giant that bowl of soup is. Jeez. Let me go back. Let's see this.
I think that's it.
Okay. So Amber's eating Mexican food. That looks like a, you know something, just looking at the bubbles, that actually looks like a diet soda. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say it looks like a diet.
Look at my hominy and meat soup with all my little...
That is the biggest bowl of soup I've ever seen.
Radish.
Well, maybe not the biggest, but that's a big old bowl of soup.
And I thought soup would be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
You get like lettuce, radish, onion, lime.
This looks amazing.
And then here's...
And this here, I mean, it doesn't look terrible actually on second look, but it doesn't look, but it looks really fattening, you know? It looks like beef stew of some kind. And then here you got these beans covered with cheese. You got the rice. You got pico de gallo with sour cream. I really don't like pico de gallo because I don't like raw onion.
Mine.
Well, actually, I've had this before.
Yeah, she has.
I get your leftovers.
Yeah, I always
For a
give
single
her my
person
leftovers,
though?
always.
For one person?
So I had this last time and I liked it a lot, so hopefully I like it again.
Chile verde con puerco.
So
Okay.
it's like a pork and potato green chili type of thing. I don't know.
Ah, so that's what the Lizu's talking about. Chile verde con puerco.
Right.
Well, if you like it, you like it. I don't.
For like literally forever. So my brain thought it would be like with the breakfast. No. So then I was like baking. No. Still have not found.
I love how she was next to the Crisco.
Like with the breakfast.
She's just gonna buy a big old can of vegetable shortening and just eat it with her hand.
No. So then I was like baking.
I could actually see Amber doing that, like buying a thing of vegetable shortening and just eating it with her hands straight out of the can.
No. Still have not found the peanut butter, but a girl does like string cheese. All right, you guys, I found the peanut butter and it's in the bread aisle.
Peanut butter. Okay. Peanut butter is one of those foods that I think it's got an undeservedly good reputation. If you're, underweight and you're trying to get some weight on, sure, peanut butter is a great choice. But if you're trying to lose weight, peanut butter is not your friend. Get the powdered peanut butter with no oil added if you really want peanuts and you're trying to lose weight. But getting the peanut butter pre-mixed with all that oil is not your friend if you're trying to lose weight.
These are kind of neat.
Okay, these kind of dried meat snacks are actually not so bad. They're usually loaded with a lot of sodium, but they are low in calories, so they're not a bad choice in that sense.
Flavors in one bag. So this one's buffalo style and then also ranch. And then we have up here a mango. Oh wait, it says sweet side mango, spicy side jalapeno.
That's a good point.
That's kind of cool. All right, folks.
Yeah, a lot of those dried jerkies can be full of sugar and sodium.
I'm ready.
So we have to use the...
Did you see Amber's lower body? Like look how massive, look at how huge her lower body is. Like when it comes into frame.
Semaglutide time.
Look at it. It's like she can't, her lower body is like, I'm not trying to be rude, but it looks like she's made from a bunch of lumps of clay, doesn't it? It looks like somebody just put a bunch of lumps together and built this body from lumps.
Are you ready, Mom?
I'm ready.
So we have to use the, what is this thing called?
Alcohol wipe.
Alcohol pad on top of this before you inject it, just because.
Look at that booty shelf.
See the color of it because it's mixed with B12.
That's what they tell you.
It's got that
Mom,
shelf booty.
It literally says on there.
That's what they're trying to make. It seems to be working, huh?
Oh my God, mood face. She does. It looks like a thing of mashed potatoes.
You gotta turn it upside down.
Okay, yeah. That's how Tommy did it. I get so much anxiety.
Bag full of potatoes.
50 units.
50?
So this will be my second week. On the third week, I let them know I just did my third shot, and then they send me the next stuff, so it never expires.
50.
Yep, perfect.
1, 2, 3. You ready? Does it hurt?
No. It's fine to...
Come on, so her mom has to do the injection? Is that what we're seeing here? Or is her mom doing the injection for her? She probably can't even reach herself to do the injection. Like, I'm not sure exactly where you would put it, but I've got a feeling wherever the injection goes is probably somewhere Amber can't reach, because Amber can't really reach much of anywhere.
Just put this back in the bag, right?
Yeah.
That's all I've been doing.
Where's that other bag?
Right here. All right, second week down. Oh.
Yay.
I was so nauseous in the store today,
So
which
where's
was
your other
weird.
used ones? Put them in the garbage.
Yeah, I do it in a
Like-
respectful manner. So no one gets hurt, it's not hazardous, you know, all that. Thank you very much, Mom.
I love you.
I love you too.
That's a great point, Eliza. Unless you're foodie. When foodie makes food at home, it's even worse than their takeout.
All right, guys, so we're about to have a little snack, and if you're gonna judge me based on like what I'm eating, it's not gonna help me.
If you're going to judge me based on what I mean, it's not going to help me. Actually, Amber, you know what? It might help you. If you listened instead of calling people haters, if you actually listened to what they said, and I don't mean you have to listen to every single person, because maybe some people are rude, but if you actually listen to the constructive advice, it would help you. So don't be so arrogant to say that it wouldn't help you.
And if you're gonna judge me based on like what I'm eating, it's not gonna help me.
Yeah, judging what I eat is not going to help me. It doesn't matter what I eat. Clearly, it's not going to affect my weight.
In the process, it's not really gonna help you in the process. Right now, I'm simply just trying to eat less, regardless of what the food is, to help with the longevity of my life and to feel better. And right now it's working.
To help with the longevity of her life and to feel better. Well, you're not doing very well.
So that's all I care about.
It's working. How much weight have you actually lost, Amber?
But I know people are gonna be judging with what I'm about to eat, because that's just like how it goes around here. So let me show you. So I'm gonna take some cottage cheese. This is just low-fat cottage cheese. Good and Gather brand. Stir it up a little bit. I'm gonna put some in a bowl here. So just about that much there.
Yeah, Amber has such a weird body fat distribution.
I'm just gonna
It all
take
goes
some
below
of
her
those.
waist, below her rib cage.
So I don't have any like clippy
Yep.
things to like.
She
close,
should.
But a way that I learned to do this that actually keeps it closed like pretty well, because a lot of people just go. I'm just like, girl.
Maybe
no.
she's on a low dose.
So if you fold it in like this, and then fold it down, and then fold it in again like that, and then fold it down, like, and you just continue the process, it drastically helps.
I don't like needles either.
Speaking of snacks, y'all.
This girl is either she. I've got a feeling she eats the chips so fast they don't have a chance to get stale. Like most people have to put a clip on the bag because it'll get stale. I think ALR just eats the chips so fast they don't have a chance to get stale.
Oh, remember these, the dill pickle and ranch Pringle Mingles?
Yep.
Haven't touched them.
She's a
since
real
I tried
liar.
them, which was literally weeks ago.
Agreed.
They're probably stale and gross. They were gross to begin with, so I probably need to get rid of those. Let's be real. We're gonna have some Doritos and dip them in cottage cheese.
Good Lord.
I literally.
This bothers me in a way. Like, why would you have something as healthy as cottage cheese and then something as unhealthy as Doritos? Like, it's just weird. Like, why have Doritos? Like why have the cottage? If you can eat cottage cheese and if you don't mind eating cottage cheese and it's very healthy, then why not just have some vegetables and make it a healthy meal? Why add the stupid Doritos and turn this healthy cottage cheese into something unhealthy?
Was craving this so hard because my friend told me that she had this, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds good." Yeah, that is hitting the spot for sure.
SMRT, she is so smart. Okay, now I've got another vid. Let me put on the bumper real quick. One second, folks. Let me put on a video here. Okay, I actually got something here. Since we're doing about rappers today, we're not going to cover this whole one.
Good.
I actually have a video of a rapper going to the gym to work out. And this guy is kind of out of shape. So I think it's going to be interesting to see, just to see like what a regular person in the gym looks like when they work out.
You ready?
Yeah, not really. Why not really? Get a drink. Some water.
I just drink a lot. You drink usually.
I'll grab these ones.
Give one for me and you.
Yeah, we can split this.
So anyway, this guy here on the left, the little guy, is the rapper. The guy on the right is like a personal trainer.
How you feeling?
Good, like $1 million.
This guy's got the opposite problem. The other lady was too big. This guy's a little too skinny.
Really? Crazy. What are you good at? What do you think you like?
110 pounds.
What's that?
110 pounds.
What's that mean? 110 pounds?
110 pounds.
Is that like a type of
110 pound ball?
So he's asking him what kind of exercises you like to do. And he's like, man, I like to do my prison workout. I like to do the 10 pumps. I like to do the exercises where we do it without weights.
10 push-ups, you do 10 push-ups. 10 push-ups, I do 10 push-ups. 100 times, 1,000 push-ups. It's a warm-up.
It's actually fucking.
So 50, 10 pumps would be cool.
Let's do it. Let's start with that shit.
All right, so he's saying, all right, let's start with some push-ups. I love how they're in the gym. They got all these weights, all these machines. What do? They start with push-ups. Let's see some push-ups.
Tell me.
All right, I'm going to clown him just a little bit. Those are some skinny-looking legs. Those legs are looking skinny. All right, what the heck kind of push-ups are these? What the heck kind of push-ups are these? He's just bouncing his crotch on the floor. All right, now this guy's doing some real push-ups. Yeah, he really is just kind of mumbling.
Oh, I like this. I like this.
He looks like he's having sex with the floor or something. Like he's just... Anyway, so that's what they do. So let's skip ahead a little bit. But they start off with this floor exercises. And you can see he's really just kind of faking it. He's not really doing like a real exercise. Look at this.
This is 10?
Okay, he's just kind of faking it. Like he's not really getting like any pump on his chest. He's just kind of humping the floor. Okay, so that's the first one. So now he's going to switch over to some squats. Let's see the squats. All right, he doesn't really go very deep. So, and by the way, I don't want to make fun of this guy too much. Respect to him for being in the gym. Respect to him for trying to learn to do it the right way. He seems pretty young. You know, I think that if he just keeps working out, I think he might actually do pretty well at this. So I'm not trying to clown him too hard, but I am going to make fun of him a little bit because I make fun of everybody on this show. Yeah, his push-up form was not good. Welcome in, Lady Nighthawk. Good to see you again. Well, you know, believe it or not, sometimes skinny legs can be really strong. Like I've seen some guys like with way skinnier legs than me who could lift like way more weight. So some people just don't put a lot of weight on in their legs for whatever reason. But in this guy's case, you can see he's not doing a lot of weight either. So I think it's more of a yeah, at least he's trying. I respect that. Good point.
Hey, ladies.
I think the trainer's kind of picking his battles. I think the trainer's like, all right, well, this is just kind of the warm-up. I'm not going to stress him too much on the warm-up. Because as the video goes on, I previewed a little bit of it. He actually does kind of show him a little bit better squat form. Because now if you look at him here, he says, all right, let's cut the weight down a little bit. Let's go with a little bit lighter weight. And let's clean up your form a little bit.
Try to keep your chest upright.
So he's telling him here now, keep your chest upright.
Try to squat deeper.
Yeah, the squats were not good.
Back a little bit.
All right, so if you notice here, he cut the weight down. Originally, he was using 45-pound plates. Now he switched to 25-pound plates, and he's trying to keep his back a little more straight up. And I'll tell you folks straight up, the squat is probably my worst lift. So I really don't have any good advice here to add. I'm terrible at squatting. I have good bench press. I have good shoulder press, good rows. I have a lot of good lifts, but squat is not one of them.
That's better. That's good. Good. Keep your chest up. Try not to let it go forward. Chest up.
Yep, good point, Christy. And that's why, that's another thing too. Respect to Lefty here for not having a bad attitude, because he could have said, "Hey man, I'm not going to do this lightweight stuff. Give me some real weight. You know, I want to look tough on camera. Give me the real weight." Instead, he said, "All right, you know what? If I should go lighter, okay, I'll go lighter." And he went with the lighter weight to try to clean up his form a little bit. Respect him for doing that. Now, it's not an impressive amount of weight, but at least he's improving his form. And if he keeps this up, he will be doing more weight soon. He's letting his back go a little bit too low. He's letting his upper body hunch down a little bit too much, but it's still better for him than before. Because look how he's getting his butt nice and low now. That's what he's doing better. He's getting his butt low.
Hold it a little lower on your back. Like you're trying to hold it right there. Get a little low.
He's getting his butt lower now, so it's much more exercise.
I feel like we should hit.
Agreed.
I feel like we should hit more
Agreed.
upper body though. You know.
So now he's saying, and this personal trainer, respect to the personal trainer, because he's trying to guide the guy in a way without disrespecting him. So instead of saying, "All right, well, you clearly don't have any more, you know, you're clearly gassed out on your legs. That's all you got." Instead, he's like, "Hey, I think we should hit some upper body." Because after those 2 sets of squats, he doesn't really have much more. Doesn't really have a lot more squats left in him. So I think the personal trainer's making the right call, saying, "Hey, let's switch to some upper body now."
They don't have a bench in there? Water bags. Yeah, what? Water bags. Water bags.
Yeah, and he's asking him, "So do you have a bench in jail, a bench in prison?" And he's like, "No, but we have water bags." He's like, "Water bags? What's that?"
Water and water.
The little 35 down and fill up with water.
Yeah, that's right. They just smack each other.
Well, water resistant. You're standing on your back.
They fill up a bag with 5 gallons of water and they put it on your back to do push-ups with. That's how that's how they get extra weight in prison, he said. They fill up a bag full of water and they put it on their back.
Weight resistant.
Now, to be fair, I don't think he was using any bags of water on his back. No disrespect, Lefty, but you don't look that big. I don't think you were using the bags of water. I think you were just doing, but again, you know, respect, do what you do.
So I get on the push-up, I put the guy on my back, I do a push-up while the guy's on my back.
And he says he does push-ups with a guy sitting on his back. I believe he may have had a guy sitting on his back, but I don't think he was doing any push-ups. I'm just talking crap. I don't mean to talk about this.
Did everyone work out, or was it certain people work out?
Howdy, Rudy.
Everyone.
For you, mandatory.
I think that's a good idea.
He was really, he was really there. You know?
And he's saying that you got to exercise in prison. It's mandatory, at least in his gang. You got to exercise every day. I think that's a good thing. I'm not in favor of gangs, but I do like daily exercise. So if gangs are getting people to exercise more, I guess that's a good thing. I mean, it's better not being it's better to just exercise every day without being in a gang. But if you're going to join a gang, at least join a gang that cares about fitness.
Some people talk. I know he was there. Yeah.
I think I'm younger, but not by a lot.
20? No, you're talking.
That's a good. Oh, that's another good point, Christy. This guy here, this Lefty guy, he does not have a good diet. In fact, his diet is probably worse than his workout. He lives on alcohol and blunts.
Yeah. You say right here. Yeah. Let's see what you do.
Right here. So he's going to start off here with some bench presses. He's trying to show him how to, get a good clean bench press for him. If you notice, he's doing flat bench. Flat bench is always a good exercise. Most young men know how to do flat bench, so let's see how he does. 20-pound dumbbells. That's not a lot of weight, but you know, it'll allow him to have better form. So let's see what he does. Not the cleanest. Not the cleanest. There you go. That's better. Out more. A little more out. If you notice, he seems to have a strength discrepancy. He seems to be much stronger in the right hand. The left hand seems to be going a lot more slowly.
Try not to hit him. Right there. Controlling it. Perfect.
The trader's picking his battles. He's like, perfect. He's like, no, it's not perfect, but you know what? This guy just is. This guy is not. You know, he probably hasn't slept all night. This is just the best he's going to get out of him. So he's like, all right, just don't get hurt. He knows that with the 20-pound weights, he's probably not going to get hurt. So he's not too concerned about the form.
Here you go.
Yeah, it's very asymmetrical form. That's what I'm going to dog him for. I'm going to say when you work out, you want to have symmetrical form. You don't want to have one arm going off to the side and one arm going back. You don't want to have one arm going faster. You want to have basically even. But this goes to show how much of it's genetic, because these are some of the worst bench presses I've ever seen. But he actually has okay pecs. Like if you notice, he has decent pec development, even though he can't do any kind of a bench press. So it just goes to show that muscular development is usually like more of like a genetic thing than about working out.
He said, fuck that. Have you ever like really been into working out?
I mean, because look, he's got pecs, but he can barely do a bench press. So it just goes to show that if you naturally have pectoral muscles, like you will, even if you don't work out.
I've never.
Do you want to be jacked or you want to do?
I want to be jacked.
For real?
Yeah.
That'd be a crazy look.
It is heavy for him. Is he high? He probably is. Yeah, that was not a good bench press. That was pretty bad.
My body gets big fast.
So, but what's the most time you've ever been consistent in the gym? Besides doing it in fucking
years,
prison?
Years straight.
He said he worked out for years straight. I don't know, man. Those bench presses do not look like somebody who worked out for years straight. I think he's just kind of just talking stuff. Like he's probably worked out a little bit in high school, but
push-ups all day.
Push-ups all day.
Saturday,
I don't know, man.
Saturday push-ups, pull-ups all day. That was the minimum.
Saturday he did push-ups and pull-ups all day. I don't know about all that, man. I don't know about that.
Okay, I was like, that was the minimum a day for years.
A little bit flappy. That's true. But I'm just saying, if you look at the quality of those bench presses, you would expect him to have absolutely no pecs at all, right? You know what I mean? Like with those bench presses, you would expect him to have like a bird chest.
Yeah. Okay. But maybe 4 or 5 years, push-ups all day. That's why I got this. I never went away.
You got the traps too going too.
Push-ups.
They look good.
You know I do.
And this guy's doing like 100 pounds. He's doing like 1,000,000 pounds with good form. All right, now this is good form. This is how you want to do your bench presses. I mean, he's like looking like just like he doesn't even believe it. Like, look at his face. He's like, what the hell? How the hell is he lifting so much weight? Like, he doesn't even believe it. He's like, that can't be real. Like, he's not really lifting that much that easily. Because he's doing it so easy. That's the, you know, it's like, it's not that this is such a crazy amount of weight, but he's lifting it like it's nothing.
Oh, my chest is good now.
Oh, I feel so good.
Try not to let it cave in. Try and keep it out over the elbow. Yeah, it's perfect.
Man, I'm not gonna say I was never that strong, but I did a lot more weight than that at least.
Don't let it go too far though. Right. Keep it over the elbow. There you go. Easy money. Good. Way better set.
He was the lookout. Like G-Rap says, you know, we're lifting weights. He's lifting light ass nickel plates.
Push. Come on. Try it easy.
A little bit better form on this set. This set has a little bit better form when he started, but now he's gone back to that crap form again.
I'm gonna give you a shirt. I'm just gonna custom one-off shirt that says Zoo Hub.
So just like that.
Zoo Hub. Yeah. Put your logo on it. Zoo Hub.
All right, so he takes like 10 minutes off between sets. He has one more set here. Wow, are these 35? Oh, these are 20.
Got to a different cell after, or
how much are these?
You get fucked up on the other.
Yeah, these are 35 pounds, actually. These are not 20 pounds. These are 35 pounds. Okay, you know what? That's actually not that. That's not that light. They just look kind of small, but 35 pounds is actually decent weight. It's not light.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's better form. That's better form. All right, there you go. See, now he's doing some better form. There you go. There you go. All right, that's a much better bench press.
Good. Use your can. Good. Easy.
All right, now he's losing it again. But he actually put in a good set there. That was a decent set. All right, pull-ups. I don't think I could even do one pull-up right now. All right, let's see if Lefty can get one. Holy crap, he got it. He's not. Those are not good, but that's better than I expected.
That shit hard, bro.
You know what? He did better than I expected. So I'll give him props for that.
Not happening.
He at least got halfway up.
The wider the more gangster.
Yeah.
You guys can put a bar like this in the tin. Look at him and go.
Yeah, that souns like that sounds complicated. It's like so. He's talking about like
No, you
this
do
way.
that.
Yeah, he's talking about going forward.
I bet this guy's gonna show off. What's he? Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's crazy.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's 10 times harder.
That's crazy.
Notice I haven't sat down yet. When you sit down in the pin, that's rude.
You stay up.
Yeah, stand up.
Resting.
Unless I'm doing them set, unless you're doing them set, but for me to sit down, that's how.
Since in the pen, you're not allowed to sit down between sets.
The routine is done.
It's funny.
You can do one more set. I think it's mostly over now.
There you go.
Oh, hold on. He's gonna do some he's gonna do some shoulder presses here. Let's see what he's got for the shoulder presses. All right, this guy here, this personal trainer, like everything he's doing it with really good form.
No water. Yeah.
All right, you know what? He's struggling with the weight, but the form is not that bad. Again, he's got an issue where his right side is stronger than the left. He needs to work on his left side and build that. He needs to fix that asymmetry because he's weaker on the left. And I think if he could fix that imbalance, that strength imbalance on the left, I think that would help all of his lifts a lot.
Head straight. Good.
Yeah, because if you notice, he's helping more on the left side, and that's letting him get the reps better. You know, his left side is a lot weaker. Right, lefty's weaker on the left. Lefty's a righty. That's his whole persona, though. That's the real weight there. My shoulder press was I had a good shoulder press. I used to do like 155 at my strongest. I was doing sets, so that was pretty good. Now I probably couldn't even do like 110.
Yeah?
You fell off.
Fuck some shit up.
I bet 90 pounds would be tough for me now.
What the fuck is all this bullshit we do? You push it to the front, put it to the
Because it makes
back.
it easier to take it off. Like pull it forward.
Okay.
And you can take it off there, so and then you can go wider.
Go a little bit wider. Go a little bit wider.
You know, I mean, even though I'm clowning on this guy a little bit, I actually respect that he's coming here and he's willing to lift these less than impressive weights on camera. Because a lot of rappers have this image where they're so tough and they're scared to let anybody see them, as they really are. He's like, man, you know what? It's all I can lift, but whatever. I'm gonna come and lift it. And if he keeps it up, he's gonna get really strong.
Yeah,
Right there.
not that way. Right there.
Pinky's on the ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight forward.
He's got a good attitude.
You don't go. Yeah.
I mean, he's like, if you look at his face, like he's working out, like he's really putting in the effort. Like he's not just taking it easy. So respect him for, for somebody who doesn't work out a lot. He looks like somebody who's, got a good attitude.
Push. 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 Up. Yo, when you played in high school, what lift were you best at playing football?
Bench press.
He said the bench press was his best lift. That was not a good football team. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think that team won a lot of games. If his bench press was his best lift when he was on the football team, I don't think that team won a lot of games. Okay. You know what? It's almost 9:45. I think we're just going to close it out with this. I really didn't have any other videos. I was, I actually had that article I wanted to read, but I'm a little bit tired, actually. I think we're going to just wind it down with this. But yeah, this was a good video to end it. I thought this was a positive video to end it with. Exactly. He got somebody who really knew what they were doing. I thought this was a good, strong video, a good video, a positive one to end it with. Everybody's got to start somewhere, whether you're a rapper, whether you're just a regular person, whether you're Amber Lynn, whoever you are, get in that gym and do it. Oh, and by the way, for all my talk, he looks better in the gym than Glitter and Lasers. And Glitter and Lasers claim to be working out 150 times in a year. And he looks to be more comfortable in the gym than Glitter and Lasers did. So take that for what it's worth. All right, everybody, let me put on the music and wind you down. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Good night, everybody. You've been an awesome audience. And thank you to my members, my new members. Kidney J, Hippie Easta, and Fallen Angel. That's right, Fallen Angel. Thank you very much. You folks are awesome. Thank you to all my mods. Thank you to all my viewers. Thank you to all my lurkers. Thank you to everybody watching the replay. Leave a comment. Let me know if you're enjoying it. Oh yeah, and Mom, if you're watching, good night to you. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Good night, Tucker and Freds. Good night, Nutty. Good night, Sage Clover. Good night, Moon Phase 96. Good night, Nirvana. Good night, Christy. And good night, anybody else in there. Good night, Lady Nighthawk. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hopefully we got a little chance to talk about some exercise and stuff. Good night, good night, good night. Bye-bye, everybody. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Good night, Wooly. Hopefully you have a great night. Good night, Otanky. You too. Yes, everybody, please hit that thumbs up on the way out. If you're a lefty, use your left. If you're a righty, use your right. If you're Lefty Gun play, use both hands. All right. Good night, everybody.